Oh! Welcome! Are we here? Is this live? Am I happening? Totally local podcast. Monmouth County, Ocean County. Colorful characters, local businesses, and entrepreneurs in and around the Jersey Shore area. You love it. I love it. You're here with us. Aaron, you're back. LG Insurance.
I decided to sit in on this one.
This is good. You missed the last 2-hour epic.
I didn't miss it because I was in the green room or the other room.
Yeah, but you got to,
I got to watch it, but then I also got to duck out early.
2-hour and 48-minute episode last week, and I got to tell you, it's one of the best interviews I've ever did. Go check it out. Michael McLaughlin. Good time. McLaughlin. Sorry,
McLaughlin.
Apologize
I bought the
to all
book.
my Scottish friends. Yeah, and go check out the book too.
Zero Soles.
Zero Soles. It's a mind-bending adventure. Would you ever get on a plane without any money in your pocket going to a foreign land? I probably wouldn't, but he did. So go check that one out. Anyway, on to newer, fresher, healthier things. We've got a special guest in attendance with us. Joellen, how's it going?
Very good.
Joellen Harris, entrepreneur, owner, and a colorful character. You hit on all of the three things that we love to hit on. At least one of them each episode. You knocked each one down.
That's good to know.
You only got her name right.
Yeah, Joellen.
I
got
was
the Joellen part right.
I was confusing him.
Joellen Will.
Sorry, Christian.
Rewind. That's it. Cut it. Just kidding. This is live. Oh man, I got it wrong.
It's okay.
I got so worked up in my head about.
We're talking about all those, my maiden name, my ex-husband, my new, it's a little confusing, hard to keep up with.
Wait, so say it again. Now I'm confused.
Williams.
Okay, Joellen Williams.
Yes.
It's not Joellen Williams. It's Joellen.
Joellen Williams.
Owner of Salon 27.
Yes.
In the beautiful Shark River Hills area, my favorite place to be.
Yes.
Health, fitness, coach, instructor. You have a background, and you've worn many hats.
Yes, I have.
And you're popping on Instagram. You're doing your thing.
Yeah, trying. Trying.
I was brought to your attention through just I follow. Obviously, it's all local stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd pop up, and then Aaron, wonderful booking agent that Aaron is.
Yeah.
He was like, let's do this.
Bringing the people together.
I should get paid for my booking.
Should. Yeah. I should get paid too. None
we'll
of us
have
are
to talk about that.
None of us are getting paid.
But it's a small world
It
after
is.
all.
That
Because,
it is.
There was my hair journey. It started off, I came back to the area, I don't know, 07, 08.
Okay.
And I probably talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again. God damn it. It was so difficult to find somewhere to cut my hair.
Yes.
I went to, because I'm a man, I went to a barber, and it turns out that they just couldn't handle these luxurious locks. And the barber, the one I went to, I guess I won't name the company because I don't want to, get anybody in trouble. But the barber was drunk, and he gave me a drunken haircut, and he complained about his granddaughter's communion party, and he gave me an angry haircut.
That actually sounds like the guy I apprenticed over, but unfortunately, he passed away. So I know it wasn't him.
When did he pass away? Before 08? Was it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. to him, and I hope the next communion for the drunken guy I got my haircut from, I hope the next one was better. Anyway, so I was like, I got to go to a stylist. I got to get this styled.
Yes.
And I went to a number of different places, and you don't get the attention sometimes that you need. Mm-hmm. And I eventually ended up in Asbury Park. Epic shouts to Laura Allen. I met her at Hot Mess, and she was cutting my hair. Okay. Then she opened her own place, and then she wasn't there anymore. Okay. And then I was just lost. I was lost.
Yeah.
I was just like Moses in the desert, just wandering around with a bad haircut. Yeah. And I was just like, why am I going so far? Like, why am I trying to go to Asbury Park?
Where's this little place right in my neighborhood?
There. And I'm always so timid when I call, because for being a man, you call a place and you're just like, is it? And maybe this is just my ignorance. Is like, is there some salons where it's like we just cut women's hair, or are they all unisex?
I want to say probably just there probably are.
Mm-hmm.
I know barbering, like I don't do barbering, like so you will not see me working in a barber shop. But I think a lot of women stylists do men's hair, but I'm always funny on the phone with a man that calls, and if I'm going to book him with me, I'm like, well, what kind of haircut are you looking for?
Yeah.
Do you want a fade? Oh no, one client, he cracked me up. He's like, I just want like a traditional like 40-year-old dad haircut.
Yes.
And I was like, I could do that.
Yes.
Because it's not like the barbering stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess there are salons that only do women's hair. I guess
you
it just
have
depends on the stylist.
That conversation you just had is the conversation.
Yeah,
that
you just have to have that communication before you get them in the door, so you know that you could cater to them and take care of them.
Like what I was saying, it's like on the flip of what you were saying. Like on the one side, you know, women's hair there's a lot going on there that I just don't understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dyeing and blowing out and things of that nature.
I only see the bill.
And then on the then on the flip of that, it's like if you go to like a bar where you get the fade and like if you go to like a Swagger and Blade kind of place, which I did go to the one in Oakhurst, and they did give me the traditional Swagger and Blade, and it didn't look good on me, and I did
phenomenal.
Feel awkward.
Yeah, they do phenomenal work.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But it's a certain style.
A certain look, and
I didn't fit into that category. But anyway, so I'm like, why am I going? So I go to Salon 27. Super friendly, super local, and it was so great. It was so wonderful, and I'm so glad this full circle here.
Yeah, it's a small world.
It is. It is.
Your hair is looking good today. Like,
right?
You know, thank you.
That is a Stacy haircut from Salon 27.
Yes.
You made sure your hair was looking good.
He knew he had to. The pressure was on.
I did. I had to today. I had to today. And the pressure was on because I was like, I'm trying to be fit. There was a point in my life where I was like fit. And then I got married, and I was just like, all right, I did it. And it went kind of a little bit down. Not, horribly down, but down.
Yeah.
I know how that works.
Yeah, it happens.
But I'm like, I'm going to at least start tiny steps, tiny habits every day. So, stretching, stuff like that. And then I was like, pull-ups. I've always liked doing pull-ups. I'm going to get a pull-up bar. So I set up the pull-up bar.
Okay.
And it's not a traditional, we were talking about older houses before.
Yes.
I can't get the kind that like hook onto the door because I have these old door frames. So then I'm like, I don't want to bolt it into the door because my wife might, not like that. So then I found this one where it's like pressure. You like twist it on.
Oh, I wouldn't trust that.
Well, guess what happens? I almost died today because the door I'm using it on, I'm like, maybe I should check this first. I'm like, nah, it's fine. And it's fallen before. I wasn't on it or doing an extreme pull-up, but today I was doing a pretty extreme pull-up. And the door that it's on, there's a baby gate behind me, and then behind the baby gate is the stairs going to. So nice. I'm like doing my pull-up. I'd like to say it was number 30, but it was probably like number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I got this. And it all came down. My wife, thank God, was outside because she had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Fell through the baby gate. And I was like, do you know when your adrenaline kicks in? And
Why wasn't that on video?
Oh,
I was just going to say, why weren't you recording your workout like I do?
Well, let's just say I got out of the shower and maybe I was doing some naked pull-ups. So let's hope and thank everyone out there that it wasn't because it looked pretty bad.
Yeah. Little censoring, you get your 100,000 views or 1 million.
Yeah, there you go. That's, you break the algorithm right there.
But I was falling and falling and falling, and I could have really bounced off the wall and fall all the way down the stairs. But I was trying to grab on, and I was slipping.
You gracefully fell.
There was no ninja acrobatics going on. But I just remember being like, why am I still falling? I'm grabbing onto things, and it's still the baby gate got ripped out, and then I'm like, I have to really grip onto something. Or I'm going to be found dead, naked, in the bottom of the steps. Do you know how traumatizing that would be?
Really.
I still have the visual of naked pull-ups.
Naked pull-ups.
Sorry,
but being done by Nude Curtis.
And it's funny, I was literally just thinking the other day, I want to get a pull-up bar for my house because I can't do one. I can't do a pull-up.
I have one of the big Rogue in the ceiling mount pull-up bars in my garage.
Now I'm a little nervous.
I need a little heavy duty.
I don't know.
I'm writing a review on Amazon. Once I was sitting there and I was breathing and I was alive and naked on the floor, I was like, I'm writing a stern review. Do not buy this pull-up bar because it's not made for.
No.
My house is it's old, so it's a little uneven, so you can never really. Anyway.
Yes.
Fitness. healthy, secure, on the ground fitness.
Yes.
What was your journey to where you are now? You're making these, they're fun Instagram videos. You're having fun with it. But what led you up to this point and to get to where you are now with it?
Starting out, I think I just always loved fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I was a cheerleader in high school. I wasn't people that meet me now would expect that I was this crazy athlete, get in there and beat people up.
Uh-huh.
But that wasn't me. But I was a runner, and I would come home from cheering practice and go running, and my friends would be like, "You just worked out. Why are you running?" And I'm like, "That wasn't a workout. I was doing step aerobics before school in my living room when I was 16 years old."
Oh man!
So I just always had that. I fell in love with kickboxing back. It was more like the Taibo, Billy Blanks, that kind of.
You're a certified kickbox instructor?
Yes, yeah, and I guess I just started running. I started running with Aaron. We trained for some marathons together. Ran in
That's right.
Wow.
This guy
some
used to
crazy
This guy used to run.
storms, and we were training once.
Remember that day when there was 2 feet of water?
2
in the
feet of
road,
water.
or
They pushed a car.
Still going?
They pushed a car that was sunken.
We were out for a breezy,
17 miles, something like that.
15 miler, 17 miler. No big
Soaking
deal.
wet.
What?
Just out for a cruise.
Yeah, and then another
you pushed
time.
a car down the road?
Him and Dino that was running with us, they was stuck, and so go get it.
Wow.
Pre-kids for me.
Yes, I had Marissa. I had my
Marissa was
oldest.
what, 5?
Yeah, and we've run in Sub-Zero where his beard had icicles. I remember that.
Who is this man? You're
Yeah.
So
we were
whole
so
other,
I
whole
got
other
into
kind of
running.
guy. Whole 40 pounds ago.
Yeah. I fell into, I guess running made me want to become a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I became a personal trainer, became a certified kickboxing instructor, and then I started working at CKOs and running boot camps and personal training along with doing hair.
So how did how did you find yourself at Salon 27? Is it named after, is it the street number it's on?
Yes.
Or?
What's interesting is I worked there. My aunt previously owned it. It was Current Trends.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there. She was a one-man barbershop. And then she bought the building and expanded, brought my mom in. My mom does nails.
Mm-hmm.
And then brought in a couple other girls. And then I fell in there completely randomly. The gentleman I told you I was apprenticing under.
Mm-hmm.
I was in West End. I had plans of going to the city and working in the city and being a hairdresser in the city and doing all that. And I just, at a young age, I guess, I was a partier. I'm not saying I was all straight and narrow, but I quickly got sick of the BS.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to go have fun outside of work, but you can't be drunk at work. You
That's
have to, you know what I mean?
Unless you have a podcast.
So don't be drunk at work. Yeah. So my aunt, one of the girls, Stacy, actually that does your hair, was out having her first child, and my aunt was like, "Can you come cover her clients?" And I was relatively new, so I was like, "This is good practice." And I never left. I built an amazing clientele, which I never thought I would do in Little Shark River Hills.
Yeah.
And I brought in better color and products and newer stuff. And then
your aunt was all down for you to
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great just working for family. And then we were completely devastated in Hurricane Sandy, and she rebuilt, and it was just to survive that and to see her go through that and survive that.
Yeah, you guys are right on the water.
Oh my God.
Was it just done? Was
the
building
done? If it was not a cement building, I don't think it would have even been there.
Mm-hmm.
It was the water. I mean, we had this huge antique hutch in there.
Oh man.
Gone.
Yeah. Just washed away, gone?
Gone. Everything gone.
Floated away.
It was crazy. It was horrible.
Did she have good insurance?
That's a whole other issue because the whole water and the flood, and she went through hell.
They really got you on that stuff.
She went through hell.
I wasn't there.
It wasn't, yeah.
Insurance companies really.
Yeah.
My mom had to go through that in Seabright, where they were like, "Is it the flood or is it the hurricane?"
It was devastating. So,
Crazy.
I had a loyalty to, I had this other passion for health and fitness, and I was working in other gyms and doing other things, and I was loving that. But I had my clients, and I had my aunt, and she was such a survivor. I was like, I'm not going to up and leave her. And then she, through the years, she wanted to retire. She kept cutting back, and it was like, either I leave and I go work for, I have many friends in the area that own salons, go work for somebody, or do I take this business and try to make it my own and just kind of keep her spirit alive and all her hard work. And it's such a beautiful location.
It is.
And I never really thought about, like, do I want to be a business owner, and what does that entail? So I just went for it. I was engaged to Christian, my husband at the time, and he was so supportive. And
Sorry, I messed your name up, buddy.
At least it wasn't.
Hopefully he's at work and not watching.
Yeah, he's at work. So I just went for it, and then I was thinking of it. Very bad at names. So am I. That's just not my thing. Yes.
I get it.
So the street number is 27.
You called yourself Nude Curtis.
Yeah. I got a new name today. It'll be my nickname. So I was like, my birthday is February 7th, 2/7. So I was like, is it a sign from the universe? Because you know me with all my crystals and my moldavite and everything. It's. So I just went with the name, and
I like it.
Here we are. I think 4 years in business now.
It's great. I love the location.
It's gorgeous.
It's so friendly to go in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, since everything, it's not as many people in there at once.
Yeah, it's very
I don't know
different.
what the rules are for salons at this point.
They just opened us up. It's complicated because they opened us up capacity wise, but they haven't lifted the 6 feet. So
where are you supposed to go?
Where exactly? Like,
what are you supposed to do with it? If you're cutting somebody's hair, you can't be 6 feet away.
Well, if we're cutting their hair, like, I think I can't have like my chair and then like another stylist, and I took away the waiting room, and it's hard because we're in the service business. We're in hospitality. You come in my salon, I want to be like, hey, can I get you a cup of coffee? Do you need anything? We'll be with you in 5 minutes. Have a seat. Can I get you a magazine? And now it's almost like, stay outside.
Yeah.
Don't come in, like.
Text us before you get here.
Text before you come in.
You got to ask people, are you cool? I'm cool. Are you cool? Is
this
cool? Are we good? Mask? No mask?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
like hug, like we said, like hugging, like.
Well, the postal worker comes in, and he's my.
Yeah.
He's my postal worker too. So he comes in, everyone's talking.
Yeah.
I love it's so funny. The Shark River Hills, is just so if you're
it's
there.
It's a great neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
It's just wonderful.
You got to move the family. You got to have the business in Shark River. Then you just got to move.
I know now. Maybe I do. I do. It's funny. My ex-husband bought a house there, so he lives there.
Oh.
We'll just be one big happy family.
Him
and I, we get along extremely well.
That's good.
Raise our, co-parent our daughter, but of all the places, I was like, wow, because it's so small, but it's so beautiful. His girlfriend loved it.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great area. People say to me, like, why don't you go work where you have more exposure? You're off the beaten track. And I'm like, come to my salon and sit down and look at the river and then tell me to move.
It's beautiful. It's friendly. It's warm and inviting.
Yeah.
And if I could just be practical for a second, the parking, you could park.
You could park your car.
Oh man, you go into Asbury.
Yeah.
It's like I need an app now. I don't know where I'm going. 15-minute parking. Can't park here.
I can't parallel park, so I will walk 10 blocks. Legitimately, I will walk. Yeah.
Your next car has got to be one of those automatic
self-parking cars.
Yeah.
Tell the husband.
You heard it.
Only if Jeep comes out with self-parking will you get that.
We'll get that.
So you know Aaron going way back.
Oh yeah.
You know James too, Rex Productions.
Yeah. It's like a high school
way
reunion.
Back.
That's so cool. That's so interesting. Aaron, what have you been up to? It's been a week. You haven't been on since.
It's been a week. Well, since last
Tiffany.
Tuesday. It feels like forever ago.
It does. It's been
we were sitting here drinking. What were we drinking?
Rum.
We were drinking Puerto Rican rum.
Yeah, man. Look.
The Don Q.
Aaron brought a bottle of tequila onto Mike Timpani. Timpani and Specs. He has a podcast, First Timers podcast. Timpani. Apologies, bad with names. And then Mike Timpani thought it would be, appropriate to bring, a bottle of rum and then we have to do an obligatory shot.
First, he asked if I was catering it.
Oh,
you know,
God.
he was seeing if I was bringing the booze. I said, no, you're the guest this time. You bring the booze.
What time of day was this?
It was
10
like,
a.m.?
Yeah, it was not. It was like, was it 10 or noon?
It was early.
It was early. It was too
Yeah.
early. Too early for
It
doing
was
that.
not.
I was going to ask
Well,
you guys
never
if you
was.
wanted coffee. That's more my
I could have
speed.
used
was
another
gonna
coffee. I could have
hit
used
up
another
Brooke
coffee.
on my way.
I would have loved a coffee.
Yeah.
But what's your coffee place of choice? Is there a local one? Or?
Rook.
You do Rook?
Definitely Rook. And that's the one thing at the salon. Well, I am learning to get my cold brew and set up my refrigerator so I can make my own.
Yeah.
But you can't just I can't run out between clients and get coffee.
Yeah.
And I get really cranky. like.
Is Rook on DoorDash? Can you
I
know
thought
they
about
have their
it. I
own
thought I'm like
system,
I
I
don't
think.
know if Rook
Dunkin'
is on DoorDash,
is
and I'm
on
very picky about my coffee.
DoorDash.
I could probably make it to Dunkin' Donuts, but
It's not the same.
it's just not the same.
Do you do like the New Orleans style?
No. That's too.
It's
that's just too much for me.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm a
did
coffee
it.
lover.
I did it the other couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I was like on my it was like my third cup of the day, and I was like,
Oh,
I
no.
think I've had too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty strong.
I got on the. I usually drink iced coffee in the afternoon in the summer, and then in the winter hot. And then in February, did you guys have the strawberry mocha? Amazing. So I was drinking that every day, and I was like, "This is limited. They're gonna get rid of it." And I was trying to stock up on bottles, and then the bottles sold out, so I couldn't buy the bottles. I have like this much left at home in a bottle, and I'm savoring it. So I got on this like iced coffee thing instead of hot coffee. So that is a little easier for me at work that I could do the cold brew. But now I'm just like a straight up like mocha, iced mocha.
I need a large Bali black.
Black. Ooh, I wish I could do black
That's it.
coffee.
I started
can't.
Can't put anything in it.
my health journey cut out like
Sugar?
sugar and dairy
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
I'm back on sugar and whatever
Okay.
else.
Sugar
we
and
did
alcohol.
me and my wife did this whole right before we were trying to have a kid.
Okay.
We did this whole cleanse thing, and I was never so at that point. Like health wise, like
Right.
food, nutrition wise, I was the healthiest I ever was.
That's great.
It's great.
It's hard to keep up with.
It's super hard to keep up with, and then like once you slip, you just feel like you've totally failed.
One holiday,
Yeah.
and you
People
got to
look at
get
you-
right back on track the next day.
And your family looks at you like you're insane. If there's a holiday and you're just like, oh no, I can't eat any of the
They're
pasta.
used to me by now. They're used to it. They're like, Joellen, you're bringing your own food? I'm like, yeah.
You have like containers. Of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, they're used to me by now.
I remember like I was so clear that like the first day I ate like bread and had dairy, like the next
Right.
day I was all inflamed and like
Oh
stuffed
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Then you get used to it.
Oh yeah,
Then
you
you're
get right
fine.
back. Sugar, it's like you don't eat sugar and then stuff that's not really sweetened or maybe has like a little bit of sweetener is so sweet and tastes so good.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get back on
Oh, man.
the real stuff and then you eat the stuff you were eating, okay, I'm vegan. When I was pregnant, I could not. I almost got so sick from vegan mac and cheese. Like and vegan cheese has come a long way. It's not that gross.
It's a good selling point. Marketing.
It's
There you
not
go.
that gross.
Vegan
Marketing.
cheese.
It's not
It's
that
not
gross.
that gross.
Not that gross.
I just make my 2-year-old eat it.
I couldn't do it, and so I was not vegan through the rest of my pregnancy.
The
and
baby
then
wasn't vegan. You
baby
were vegan.
was not vegan.
Yeah.
We were vegetarian, and then trying to get back, I was like, now I know why people like. I have a girlfriend that I told her this Mikey Knows fresh mozzarella is amazing, and it is for vegan mozzarella. She was so mad at me. She's like, "You ruined my dinner. Like, I will never ever live this one down." And I'm like, I understand what she's talking about right now. But once you get back on it, so once you get back off the sugar or get back on the vegan cheese or no gluten or whatever, it tastes good again. But yeah,
It's
you
such
get
a
that you get that
slippery-
taste
Yeah.
of like
You get
Yeah.
that slippery slope of once you have that cheat day, and then it turns into a
Yeah.
cheat week, and then a cheat month, and then you're just cheating. Then
Yep.
it's just normal life.
That's
But I know the benefits. I also know the they're like fads. We were talking about sustainability with health.
Yes.
And I've done paleo, which was great. It was awesome. And I wasn't even drinking beer. And I remember that first beer, I think it was like a Miller Lite or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the most amazing beer in the world. Like after doing it for so long, and then it's the sustain. And then I did the keto thing.
Right.
And it's like, it's not sustainable.
If it's not something that you could do every day of your life, and that could work out, if you're at a party or you're out to dinner, and you can make those changes, like it's not going to be a sustainable lifestyle. And so that's why I wanted to work with health coaching, and my original plan was to integrate it into the salon as a service to like beauty and wellness and just kind of everything that I'm all about, make my salon about. And people, when you're in the salon, they're in your chair, you're their therapist, you're their hairdresser, you're everything. So they're asking me like, how do I tone up my arms? How do you feel about this diet or that? And that's the advice I give people, and that's really why I wanted to become a health coach, because it's just making small changes. It doesn't have to be this extreme, like, I am not eating this food group or that food group. I do it because I have ethical reasons. I don't want to eat animals, and that's, I'm not talking about...
That's not health, that's something else.
That's ethical, right. But it has to be something that you could teach yourself. I know that I'm going out and we're going for pizza tonight. I'm going to have pizza, or I'm a drinker and I want my beer with my pizza. You have to, maybe 2 days before or that day, like, do you go get a bagel for breakfast? No.
Yeah.
Like, it just, moderation.
I was so hard on myself to where when I was at me and my wife, preparing to have a kid, getting ourselves nutritionally in a good spot.
Yes.
But the peak physical I ever was right before I met my wife.
Okay.
And I remember being so hard on myself. It was so disgusted to be like, oh man, look at you disgusting slob. And like when I think of that and I look at myself now, when I look at myself after falling down off of a pull-up bar naked on the ground, everything hanging out, I'm like, oh man, if I could have that, what I was looking like,
It's very frustrating. I'm all about health and fitness. I take very good care of myself. I don't work out every day because I have to. I enjoy it. It's like, it keeps me sane, and it just makes me feel good. And I had Amelia, I got married, I was at my peak. I probably never looked better than when I met Christian. And I look back and I'm like, I can't get there right now. I'm 41 years old. Like, I had a baby at, I think, 39, and like, as healthy as I am. So it's like, and that's awakened a new thing inside me, because it was easy when I was a 30-something-year-old trainer. But I didn't have, how earlier we were talking about life experience and that knowledge that we develop, and they would be like, but I want to look like you, what do you do? And I was one of those trainers a long time ago that would be like, well, you have to eat healthy and work out, like okay, like now I'm doing it, and I have this like 41-year-old body that I have hypothyroidism, and who else knows what other hormonal issues, stress, that does a lot to us. And I can't get back to, where I want to be. And,
and people, like, the perception, too, of, like, you see, like, actors, Hollywood, they do these makeovers for movies and stuff. They can only sustain it. It's not like they get to that point after such intense training. And then they don't sustain it. You see them on, like, in like the cover, like the, pages of Us Weekly, where it's like, afterwards they're on vacation, and it's like they don't have those ripped abs
but it's like
anymore.
They have a chef, like if everybody would eat healthy, if they had somebody that would make food that they liked that was healthy.
And you didn't have to do a damn thing.
Do anything.
I would still make sure there was sweets in the pantry. And ice cream in the freezer.
Sometimes I come home from work and I'm like, I'm just gonna have a bag of popcorn for dinner. Like, I don't know. I'll go like eat a couple pieces of kale and balance it out and eat my popcorn, and I'm tired.
There's this whole
That meal sounds so depressing.
What?
That meal sounds so depressing.
Popcorn and kale.
But compared to McLaughlin last week, that's a Thanksgiving
Oh man,
feast.
have you ever had cacao? Have you ever eaten like pure uncut cacao?
No,
No. He gave me some. The guy from last week who's healthy.
Like
and
the powder?
No, like the chocolate ball. Like it was like a chocolate bar.
Yeah. No, I thought like, oh, I'll love this. No, it's like it's like it.
He did a
Bitter?
small. Yeah. It was like 100% pure from wherever it was.
It's very high in magnesium, very good for you.
Oh yeah, he's like, here, do you want some cacao? I'm like, sure. He's like, do you mind if we do a little prayer? I'm like, amen, brother, let's do it. So we did a little prayer. He's like, the warriors would eat cacao before they went into battle.
Yeah.
And like, I ate it, and I was on some kind of, I was in the spirit world or something.
Were you ready for battle?
I mean, yeah, we did a 2 hour, 48 minute.
Oh, that was that podcast. Okay.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like talking to him, and everything's clear, and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm awake, and I'm like, am I like effed up right now because of the cacao? Like, I feel like I'm like,
maybe I gotta try this.
I mean, do a little prayer, eat some cacao, and see, how
I'll
many
add it
haircuts you can
into
get.
my morning meditation
I mean,
that I try to get in every day.
Yeah, meditate. That's the other thing too about like health, fitness, all this stuff. It's beyond what you look like. It's mental, physical. It's a whole, kit and caboodle.
I think this stage in my life has been about that, and just finding that it's for how it makes you feel. And I don't want to sound like corny about it, but it's not just like physical, on the outside fitness, working out, but it's also your mind, like working out your minds, like, and it's probably more important than the physical.
Yeah, I've wanted to, like, meditation is something that I've, in I don't know, the last few years started doing. It's a little more difficult, and I'm not blaming the kid, but like in the morning I'm trying to get up
I'm right there
earlier.
with you. My whole morning routine is completely
crazy.
hit or miss.
Yeah, it's like very chaotic, but I will tell you that after doing it, you just kind of have this even keel about you when you're dealing with certain situations. Yeah, I really want to start like an instructional video series on how to meditate called "Shut Up, You're Doing It Right, Just Sit Down." Because that's all you got to do.
I became a meditation instructor, and like I thought that was something I wanted to work with people with as well. But it's like it's so personal. Yeah. What is going to relax you and exactly, it's like people think that there's this like you have to get in this right position, and you have to have this right mudra with your and it's like sometimes you say affirmations, sometimes you just clear your mind, sometimes you listen to meditation music.
I like bells and stuff, or like
that
brooks
too.
babbling.
Yeah.
I can't listen to some dude be like, all right,
no,
now we have to clear your mind. Like I'm like the guy, like if I hear somebody talking, I'm like, shut up.
No, that's too much for me too.
But people think too that you gotta like not like think, but it's like, no, think a lot. Like think about everything until you can't think anymore, and then you get past it.
Yep, and don't judge it.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing. It's like let it come and don't judge it. Like I try to like, if I'm gonna make a big decision or if I'm just struggling with something in life, like you just really want to get that mental clarity, because the answers sometimes do come, and sometimes they're there and they're deep inside, and we know it, but we're just so like
dealing with life every day.
Yeah.
Speaking of like dealing with life, you have this, you have your salon, and then you also have this your fitness journey. And how do you like marry the two? How do you balance them out, or like where do you see yourself spending more time these days?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I need to meditate. I'm going to go meditate. I'll be right back and I'll answer. I had a plan. Maybe building on the lot next door wasn't sold yet. And now there's a house there.
Strange house too.
Very tall. I was not. The crane just kept. It was a modular, and the crane kept just dropping them off. And I'm like, wow.
So you were thinking about getting that lot?
I was like thinking about that, or expanding the building if it could. So I was asking my aunt, could the building support a second story, and just having a studio where I could do like health coaching seminars, just seminars, empowerment seminars, bringing people together, bringing women together, even meditation right by the river.
Yeah.
I still do want to do outdoor yoga in the parking lot. Just donation, just community, just stuff that makes people feel good. And, sometimes, hey, I never tried yoga, and then they try it and love it, and like maybe I'm not benefiting from this, and you're not going to personal train with me, and I'm not going to make a living off of it. But if I'm positively changing your life and you found something that you like, that's worth it for me. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. Try to inspire people. Online, my brother's like, you need to make a YouTube channel. And I'm just like, when?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to do like my fitness stuff because I just put my camera, I just film myself when I'm working out, I'll find a clip or whatever. So that's easy. The salon, like trying to do reels and all that stuff with the salon, like I'm not going to just film myself working. That's not interesting. It's like I never do that because I'm behind the chair working. I don't have the time to make the content.
If you were doing like one business, then
I
you
could
might
focus on it. Yeah. I'm just like, but that's me. Like Aaron knows. Like he's known me my whole life. Like I'm just all over the place. I just have so many interests. And it's all like in that like creativity and like helping people, but I don't know exactly my next move. I thought of like small personal training, in-home personal training when I was between the CKOs that I worked at. I was personal training, doing private, and I was actually using the salon space. I mean, I do have that space. One of the rooms kind of easily clears out and doubles as a studio, and I have the yard, and I can make a gym anywhere. I got a bench. I got
the yard there's a yard in the back.
Yeah, I have a yard.
I didn't know
So I don't know. I miss teaching group fitness so much, but just with COVID and everything,
Got
and
crazy.
then it's just a crazy time, and then just owning a business, having children. When am I going to go teach a fitness class? As much as I want to. So I don't know where I'm going with it, but I just know that I'm so passionate about it. And I get a lot of my friends and just, you've inspired me to take my yoga mat out again. You've inspired me to start working out again.
Through the Instagram stuff that you post,
yeah,
people
yeah.
like reaching
and
out?
some on TikTok. See, TikTok likes me because I didn't really know what I was doing. When I started doing TikTok, it was during the pandemic. It was supposed to be a family TikTok, and then it became mine. And I was like, I'm just going to make fun of myself because that makes me laugh. And I got, nothing crazy, but I got a decent following. I had a couple videos went crazy viral, like 1.5 million. Like we were like, my teenage daughter was like, what is going on? She was like so mad at me, and like it was so funny. But so that's not. I try to throw a little like fitness in there. So it's kind of like that's my like silly and empowering, and just like when I'm in a good mood and want.
What's your TikTok? What's your?
My TikTok is Miss Joellen.
Okay.
And my Instagram MissJoellen.fit. So I try to do like more of the fitness on Instagram, and I throw in some of the TikToks because I have the content. But yeah, people they do reach out to me and tell me just these positive things, and I'm just like that's great. Like if I could inspire you to start moving again, feel good about yourself. So right now, Amelia's going to preschool next year, so I think hopefully I'll have a little more time to like figure out, hopefully the world's going to change and we're going to slowly go back to normal, and
some form of normal.
Our new normal, whatever that is. But yeah, so
you're still figuring it out.
Kind of a work in progress. I do think I could be like 80 years old and just be like, it's a work in progress. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still, following my dreams.
Just keep doing it. Just keep doing.
Yeah. What do you have like? Say you met somebody, a hypothetical person. They're trying to do little steps to get in shape. They fell off of a pull-up bar and they're trying to like get their life together.
Step one.
Yeah.
Step one, wear
put some
clothes.
underwear on.
Just small little things, like just be active. Even start stretching. Like, and the older we get, Aaron and I talked about this once. Like, why do we have to do 10 minutes of mobility work in the morning to get out of bed and
Every
function?
day.
Like, but
if I don't do my 10-minute stretch in the morning, it's like I can't walk.
Yeah, like so just stretching, walking, find something. If you like to dance, maybe you would like
I do like to
Zumba, or I don't even know, because dance, that's just not my thing. Dance, fitness, and whatever that, like, find something that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're going to want to do it. If
Yeah.
you like being outdoors, ride your bike, walk, try to, run, outdoor cycle. So I think that's the key, because you don't want to be like, oh, I have to get up and do that today. I have to, like, I get up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to work out today. I'm going to do the Peloton. I'm going to do yoga. Like, I feel like doing this today. Like, and I'm excited about it. Like, so I think that's what's going to keep you with it.
What about, you're not supposed to eat sugar, you're not supposed to eat things. Like, how would you tell somebody to, like...
I don't agree with, like I was saying before, the, like, don't do, because, and maybe everybody's not like this, but if you tell me you can't eat a chip, that's like the worst thing you could tell me. It's like my downfall.
Watch me.
But all I'm going to want to do is eat a chip.
That's all you're
It's
going to
like
think
the rebel
about.
in me. Yeah, like, I'm going to dream about those chips. I'm going to, like, so you have to just find a way to keep it in moderation and to fill your diet with nutrients. You have to remember why we eat. We eat because we fuel our body, and sometimes I'm eating something and I'm like, well, what is this doing for me? Is there nutrients in this, or is this just like...
If I start thinking like that, what is this doing for me?
Like,
I'll
what is
start like
this?
crying.
Yeah.
I am getting hungry.
Yeah.
Well, let's not
Like-
go there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we touched on a lot of things here. I'm so glad that we got to connect.
Yeah, me
in
too.
This way, because it's so strange that full circle. Aaron knows everybody, and we got to sit here today and to go over this. I feel like I don't. It's interesting talking to you about all this stuff. It's not like what you're telling people. What I get from it is like, just be more aware of what you're doing, and maybe look at things a little not so hard on yourself.
Yeah, a little better perspective.
Cool.
And be kind to yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself. We beat each other up like so bad, and punish ourselves, and like working out is like punishment for something you ate. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
Like, is that how you want to live your life?
It's not how I want to live my life.
Right?
I gotta go meditate and figure that.
We're gonna
part
go
out.
meditate.
Joellen, thank you so much for. What's the best way to people if you need a haircut, or
Yep.
as long as it's not a fade,
Yes.
make sure it's call up and be like, is this a barber or is this a salon? But it's in the name, Salon
Yeah.
27, Shark
Yes.
River Hills.
Yeah.
Can
Drop
we,
in.
Can
say
we get
hi.
a camera in there, hyperlapse on your next haircut? Like,
Sure.
I think we should, see how those lovely locks get.
see how it
cleaned
happens.
up.
See how the magic
Yeah,
happens.
we could make that happen.
And then for following you on Instagram, it's MissJoellen.fit.
Yep.
And then TikTok, it's just Miss Joellen.
Miss Joellen.
It's big fan.
Big fan.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
I want to hear, once you get to that next step,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, I want to hear more about it. Come back in.
Okay.
And thank you, everyone, for watching. This is Totally Local Podcast. Colorful characters, local businesses, and entrepreneurs in and around the Jersey Shore area. Totally_local_podcast is us on Instagram. If you're watching this right now, you're on Facebook, so you don't need to know much else about that. And then otherwise, thank you, Rect Productions. Thank you, James, you lovely bearded man, for setting all this up. He's concentrating so hard in there. He's not even there we go. He's smiling a little bit. All right. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
right.
We're gonna go make our TikTok.
Yeah, we're gonna go make a TikTok now.
Make a TikTok.
Peace out, guys.
Oh yeah,
Wow. There we go.
that was great.
Great. Thank you so much.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.